Alright, hello everyone. Hopefully this episode should be up at 12 noon Eastern today because we got a lot to get into. But welcome to another episode of Whenever Saturday. We're going to quickly get our sponsor here. Whenever Saturday here on Andy's Randomness is brought to you in part by our sponsor, Proton VPN. Now, I keep saying being a WWE fan is expensive, and we'll get into John Cena's last match later on in this episode. But it is expensive. You gotta add on not only with Netflix, right? Watching Monday Night Raw every week, but you're still paying for cable or satellite or nowadays with the whole streaming TV schlemiel with YouTube TV or, Hulu, DirecTV Stream, Sling, whatever, just to watch SmackDown on Fridays or whatever else you're trying to figure out how to stream the CW every week to watch NXT. And of course, you got on Peacock tonight the John Cena match, which I unfortunately caved in because other sporting events. But then you got, of course, the ESPN streaming service. So how do we save money? Well, of course, the sponsor, Proton VPN. The only VPN for $9.99 a month. So going back to the old WWE Network days. Secure up to 10 devices at a time. Secure high-speed VPN. Of course, you have 1,500 servers in 120 plus countries. Stream. Of course, this is what I say. $7.99 a month with Netflix. And then you add on $9.99. I mean, you're saving a lot of money every month. Not only will you get Monday Night Raw on Netflix, but you will get NXT on Tuesdays as long as you use a secure server. Friday Night SmackDown on Fridays. Select NXT pay-per-views. And with the VPN, I will mention, as long as you pay the $9.99, you will be able to find John Cena's last match streaming tonight on YouTube. Of course, you can block ads, trackers, and dangerous malware while you surf the internet. And of course, priority support and live 24/7 chat. Once again, $9.99 a month for the VPN Plus deal. Visit protonvpn.com. Now, we have a lot to get into in this episode. So we're going to talk about the agony the Mets put me through this week. This is basically going to be a sports episode. We're going to talk about the college football playoffs. We're going to talk about John Cena's last match. I guess next week I'll do like a brief episode on the radio changes of New York because I don't think we have time to get into it this week. So we'll likely do that for next week's episode, I promise. Just that a lot of sports stuff we got to get into this week. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, again, the Mets, talk about the college football playoffs, and we're going to talk about WWE with John Cena's retirement and my thoughts on his career. So, first topic we're going to get into today is, of course, the Mets. What a disgrace David Stearns is. What a disgrace. So let's do a little story time of how I found out the Mets did these dreadful moves. Okay? It's a short and sweet story. So you saw my YouTube shorts earlier this week. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok. Because, Andy's Randomness is everywhere now. Look. The Edwin Diaz news. So, here's how I found out about the Edwin Diaz news. Okay? So I get an alert while I'm labeling a few magazines at the hospital this week, right? My hospital job. Right? Oh my goodness. So I find out that the Phillies re-signed Kyle Schwarber, which was no surprise. Ugh, man, it's already giving me indigestion thinking about the Mets. I have to get it out of my system. So I find out that, the Phillies did what they had to do. And then the first domino began to fall. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see me a little bit better. So, the first domino begins. I get an alert from John Heyman, the wonderful MLB reporter, that Edwin Diaz gets paid $3 million less. The Mets offered him $3 million less. Same 3-year contract to go to the Dodgers. So that's great. The Dodgers are already this super team that has won back-to-back championships. They beat the Yankees last year. They beat the Blue Jays this year. And now we're going to basically cement their legacy. Are they really going to become a dynasty now? Is this what's going to lead up to the 2027 MLB lockout? Because I'm calling it right now. This is what's going to lead up to it. I'm warning you all right now. The whole salary cap crap that everybody talks about, the Dodgers are able to spend whatever the hell they want, right? They're able to put the money in, whatever they want to do. They can do it. They can steal all the good players away. They can overpay Shohei Ohtani. They can overpay for Freddie Freeman, right? They can give the money to Mookie Betts and become this freaking super team. They have Yamamoto, right? And by the way, there should have been a red flag. Supposedly, the Dodgers invited Edwin Diaz to their championship parade. So that should have been a red flag. I mean, I have to find out when I'm at work that Edwin Diaz goes to the Dodgers. It gets bad enough. Oh, the Pete Alonso news. This is going to sound embarrassing. So again, a lot of us do this habit. We're all on the throne. Yeah, restroom talk. I'm on the throne. I'm browsing the internet on my phone at the nursing home, right? Private bathroom. So, I get the alert. Ding! Pete Alonso gets a 5-year contract. Well, I'm at work. Trying to get ready to be with my residents on Wednesday. At the nursing home. I'm telling you right now. The Wilpons, Jeff and Fred, they never did this to us. They never put us through this torture of back-to-back days of our good players leaving. They never did this. And not even the previous owners. Yeah, when Tom Seaver got traded in the 70s. At least the Mets didn't do back-to-back moves, right? Oh, my goodness. This is what the Mets always do. They find a way to let the good players walk. And I'm like, what? So I'm telling you right now, all the Met fans are delirious. Okay, I would love to get Cody Bellinger. But is the boy genius David Stearns going to do that? Is he going to let Bellinger get a 5-year contract? No, the Mets are being cheap. And here's a shocker for you Yankee fans. You know, last week technically marked the 1-year anniversary when you guys signed Max Fried to that contract. To try to improve your pitching staff, and you thought Garrett Cole was going to... And by the way, I heard a rumor that Garrett might not even come back till like the end of April. So that's going to be fun for the Yankee fan. But the Yankees have been quiet too so far in free agency. You think George Steinbrenner would have been, quiet if he knew the team was going to fall on a free fall? No. If George was still alive, he'd be ashamed of his son, Hal, because Hal has not done anything. Brian Cashman hasn't done anything. And now there's a possibility the Yankees might let Bellinger walk to the Mets. Or, here's a couple possibilities. Now we're playing Moneyball here. All right, let's get into the fact that Cody Bellinger, okay, he's basically the same age as Pete Alonso. Like, Alonso's like a year older than him, okay? So, Bellinger's 30, all right? Keep this in mind. The Mets have got to account that as a factor, okay? Now, as far as Bellinger is concerned, think about the 2 teams that he's played for in his career. Now, Bellinger was on that 2020 Mickey Mouse Dodgers team that won the World Series. So think about how, the Dodgers have been so successful in the past 5 years. They had the Mickey Mouse COVID team in 2020. They won the World Series in back-to-back years. Okay? My God, Freddie Freeman's a freaking 3-time champion. 1 championship with the Braves, 2 now with the Dodgers. I mean, when you look at the impressive stats, I mean, so far, when I look at Cody Bellinger's resume, he's a future Hall of Famer already at age 30. He needs like 5 more RBIs to get to 700 in his career. I mean, how the hell does nobody sign this guy already? You know? And supposedly now the Mets have this mold that now they like Bellinger. They're following Billy Beane's example with the Athletics. The whole Moneyball statistic. Well, I want to get Bellinger. But by the way, you delirious Met fans, you think that, oh, we're going to get Stubble from the Tigers or Skeens from the Pirates. You think we're going to trade away the prospects? First of all, I don't want McLean gone. No one's the future of this franchise. Okay? He proved it when they called him up last year. Now, Sprout, Tong, I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt next season. The pitching has got to be better next season, okay? But even after that, you know, my goodness. We knew this was going to happen. The Mets always find a way to let the good players walk. They've done it time and time and time again. They did it to Tom Seaver. They did it to Nolan Ryan. I could go on and on and on with the list of all the players they've gotten rid of over the years. They got rid of Dale Strawberry, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling. They've done this before. They've done it. They even let Doc Gooden go. They let Mike Piazza walk. They let David Cohen get traded. Right? And they end up with mediocre stiffs. Oh, I can remember the times when Steve Traxel used to pitch for the Mets. And you know that was, oh yay, it's Mets losing day. Yay! Ugh. Same with Clay Holmes. I don't want to compare him to that. But my goodness. I mean, if we don't get Griffin Canning back, I'm telling you right now, you got to re-sign Griffin Canning. Because Griffin Canning's still out there, apparently. Okay, he got injured. So what? So what? I don't want to see Clay Holmes as a starting pitcher anymore. We tried that. It failed. Send him in a bullpen. You know, the Yankees let him walk to the Mets. He should be the guy in the 8th inning backing up Devin Williams. That's what I would do. But no, David Stearns and Steve Cohen, they know better than us, supposedly. That's why they let Alonso walk. And by the way, comparing these press conferences, I mean, Edwin Diaz obviously sounded happy to be a Dodger. Yeah, because now when Narco gets played, in center field, they have this big subwoofer at Dodger Stadium. Right? I saw it on the SNY thing when the Mets were playing them last season, right? The Mets went out to California to play the Dodgers. And oh my God. I mean, somebody commented on my TikTok. Somebody claimed their husband built the sound system at Dodger Stadium. Well, yeah, it's so freaking loud. The acoustics at Dodger Stadium. So that's going to be fun, right? For Edwin Diaz. He's so cute for him. He was bragging about it at the press conference yesterday when the Dodgers introduced him. So yeah, he was all giddy. You know the crazy thing is, how come Pete Alonso looked lifeless yesterday at the Orioles press conference? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because the Orioles gave him a boatload of money for like $155 million for like 5 years. Okay, they give Alonso 5 years. Okay, I don't know. I mean, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. I mean, knowing realistically, I would have obviously went to the Red Sox. Because the Red Sox, at least, and call me crazy for giving the benefit of the doubt, but you're being offered to play every day with Trevor Story? Why wouldn't you go to the Red Sox? Why? The Red Sox have a win-now team. But no, Alonso's going to waste 5 years of his career. What the hell are the Orioles going to do for the next 5 years? They don't have nothing going for them. You know? So, yeah. Look, I don't want to trash Baltimore. Alright? Because, you know, remember, I have a condo in Ocean City, Maryland. I'm not trashing Maryland here. Okay? Like, Alonso can go to a good suburb in Baltimore if he wanted to. Now he's getting paid so much money. Like, he can get a nice house with his wife and the new baby on the way. Yeah, apparently Alonso has a baby on the way now. Yay! How interesting is that? You know, another reason why Alonso probably went to Baltimore, Camden Yards is a very home run friendly park. Ask Cal Ripken. He'll tell you that. Alright? And when it's said all and done, in one of these 5 years, I guarantee you, Alonso's going to break Aaron Judge's home run record. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen. So, yeah, I want Cody Bellinger on the Mets. It's got to make up for the loss that we did. So, again, realistically, the two things that I want to do right now, if I'm David Stearns, you got to get Cody Bellinger. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts. He's asking you for 5 years. Give him his 5 years. I don't want to hear Uncle Stevie say, oh, we don't have the money. We don't have the money for it. Do it! You need an everyday first baseman. I'm telling you right now, Bellinger could go back to the Dodgers. They're going to offer him more money. And I'm calling it, if Bellinger goes back to the Dodgers, you're going to hear it from me first, folks. We are going into a lockout in 2027. I am calling it right now. It's going to happen. If the Dodgers are just allowed to spend a boatload of crap money, no salary caps, no this, no that, give me a freaking break. So riled up. I'm already imagining the league going into a lockout in 2027. It's going to happen. You don't think it will? Yeah, so. And again, Griffin Canning. I'm telling you right now, everybody says, oh, the bullpen collapsed. There's the bullpen collapsed. Okay, the bullpen collapsed. Greg Soto went to the Rays. Oh, and by the way, Ryan Helsley and Pete Alonso get to be on the same team in Baltimore. So, yeah. Look at that. I think the collapse happened when Griffin Canning got hurt. All right? I think the whole team just fumbled when Griffin Canning got hurt. You can't replace a guy like Griffin Canning. So this is what I want to see. At least the rotation. So you got to bring back Griffin Canning. There's no excuses. Griffin's got to come back. So when it's said all and done, the rotation should be McLean, Sprout, Tong, Peterson, and Canning. No excuses. You got to put Clay Holmes in the bullpen. He's the 8th inning guy. Oh, no, he was a starting. Listen, Holmes is a bullpen guy. He can readjust. All right? I don't want to hear it. So, let's see what the boy genius does. The boy genius, David Stearns, he's really gotta wake up. All right? And I'll say one more thing about Steve Cohen. He said, I have a 5-year plan to win a championship. Well, you sort of promised that with 2022 when we had the 100-plus win season and we let the division collapse on us. 2024, the whole magic carpet ride season, the oh my god season, right? Ah, man. All Steve Cohen cares about are two things right now. It's like he's forgotten about the Mets. He only cares about two things. One, his beautiful new casino that he's going to put right on top of Citi Field. And then two, his wonderful children's hospital in Long Island. That's all he really cares about. He's just done it for the money. He's going to start to become a cheapskate. And now the Mets are going to fall into it. Yeah, that's the reality we live in. Just pain, torture, misery, and we'll see what the boy genius does. It's all we can hope and pray for. Okay, now, the other two sports topics we're going to get into. I rather would get the WWE stuff out of the way first. So, tonight, John Cena's last match ever. That's it. Once he faces Gunther, that's it. He's done. No more John Cena in the WWE ring anymore. Now, supposedly, he's going to be an ambassador to the WWE. Like, maybe you'll see him in a couple premium live events a year or something. You know, promoting WWE or whatever, or this or that. Come on, in reality, he wants to still stay an actor full time. He's gone Hollywood Cena. Let's face it, Cena's gone full Hollywood. You know what? Good for him. He's had a long career. 17-time champion. He's certainly going to be a Hall of Famer, given that, he's dedicated his life to wrestling. He really did. In the amount of years that he was with WWE. Now, there have been moments where I've gotten tired of Cena, where I've booed him, especially during the heel turn. Especially what he did to Cody Rhodes back in March. But, hey, Cody Rhodes made Cena own up. That was good enough, right? Oh, man, I mean, this run of John Cena has been pretty questionable. There have been some lows, like, when he had to face R-Truth. Yeah, that was interesting, huh? Those crappy matches. And then the whole ESPN thing. When they did WrestlePalooza. Anybody remember that pay-per-view? That was a disaster of a pay-per-view. The only good thing is it did sort of bring back AJ Lee to the fold, but has AJ Lee really done that much since she's come back? I mean, hopefully she'll be in the world title discussion. Because, we all love AJ. Look, the other questionable thing was, again, the whole, Brock Lesnar suplexes Cena, and that was a waste of a match. Now, yeah, I mean, Cena did get to face Logan Paul, which, say what you want about Logan, but the Paul brothers really are combat fighters. Is Logan going to be a champion one day? Unfortunately, in a matter of years, he might. Him, Braun Breaker. you'll probably see Javon Evans as a champion one day because this kid's good. I'm gonna get into him in just a second, but yeah, the Paul brothers, man, they got a lot going on. In fact, I cannot wait to watch Jake battle Anthony Joshua on Netflix coming up on Friday night. So you got that boxing match to look forward to. What was I gonna say? But I mean, the matches that Cena has had overall, when you look at, what happened in the Elimination Chamber, that was emotional with CM Punk. Then, of course, the heel turn. I don't want to get into that again. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, the Cody Rhodes matches, I think the SummerSlam one was good. That was a good match. They went at it for a while. Then you had, trying to think, right. You know what the best match was of this whole year? The AJ Styles one in Australia. That was a good one. They went at it. Cena and AJ. They pummeled each other. That was a great match. And, AJ's going to retire next year. That's going to be emotional when AJ Styles leaves the ring. So, yeah. This is it, man. I mean, all the other moments of Cena's career, the whole WrestleMania 20 was his first WrestleMania match in New York. When he defeated the Big Show when he started off that. And of course, the rest is history. I mean, that was an emotional ending at WrestleMania 20. The whole... man. I mean, I'm getting nostalgia just thinking about WrestleMania 20. The whole... I'm just that WrestleMania was memorable. Only because when you look at the triple threat match when Chris Benoit defeated Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I mean, that's a moment none of us can ever get back. And of course, we all know what happened to Chris Benoit. I don't need to get into that, but WrestleMania the year after, WrestleMania 21, when Cena had those good promos with JBL, I mean, they had good in-ring chemistry together. They hated each other, and Cena won his first WWE Championship, led to the spinner belt. Now, my opinion on the spinner belt, I mean, it was hip-hop bling-bling, but it had to go at some point. Thank goodness for The Rock putting some common sense into us, And then the belts had so many changes over the years, but I mean, a consistency with the WWE Championship that I can remember was, of course, the spinner belt. The spinner belt. Oh, man, that was a big part of my childhood right there. When you look at Cena overall, I mean, I look at the rivalry he had with Edge. They had good in-ring chemistry together. They were young guys battling it out, both passionate about the business. Edge and Cena were really at it, Cena had a great rivalry. Cena's had so many great rivalries, whether it's Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, even Shawn Michaels. The thing about Shawn Michaels, I still remember that Raw episode in 2007 where Michaels hit the Sweet Chin music. And I was like, oh man, Cena's going to get his ass beaten at WrestleMania 23. I was like, oh, then Cena won that match. There was there's actually a couple WrestleMania matches that was wasted in Cena's career. I'll get into it. So I think there's 2 overall WrestleMania matches that was wasted in Cena's career. The fact that WrestleMania, oh my God, WrestleMania 24 was a complete waste for Cena. Because they had Cena in a triple threat match against Triple H and Randy Orton. That was such a waste of a match. Now, Orton did win, all right? Because remember, Orton just had a feud with Chris Jericho a couple months back because Jericho came back in November of 2007. The whole Randy Orton speech, I've beaten theirs all to beat. Give me the torch here in Fort Lauderdale. And then Chris Jericho, we should have known it was Chris Jericho. You know, the other waste of a match, anybody remember WrestleMania in 2019, I think? No, 2018. 2018, because 2019 was cool. Cena had that moment with Elias. That was a cool moment. I love that. When Cena did the whole Thug Life thing. Yeah. So I'm just looking at something else here. That was a cool moment. You never can get that one back. But, oh my God. WrestleMania 34. That was another waste of a match. Oh, I'm John Cena. I want my match with The Undertaker. The Undertaker was going on for weeks that he didn't want to face Cena. And then all of a sudden, Undertaker came out. Cena and him had like this boring 3-minute match, which was a waste of time. So, come to think of it, I think like WrestleMania 34 was like one of the worst WrestleManias I can honestly remember. But think about it, they made up the year after. I remembered staying up late watching WrestleMania 35. Right? Oh my God. No wonder they put it to 2 nights. After that, they realized enough was enough. I can remember the other matches Cena had with Bray Wyatt before the COVID era. Cena and Wyatt had so much great chemistry together in the ring. The stories they were telling was great. That happened. The World Heavyweight Championship match, 2009, at Survivor Series. That was a great match that Cena had. Him and Jericho went neck and neck. That was a great match. Now, there were some bad times with Cena. Again, the whole heel turn. There was some other stuff that I don't want to get into. I heard some very disturbing backstage things that Cena was doing with the other talent that I'm not going to get into. But the one thing you got to appreciate John Cena for, not only because he was a 17-time champion, okay, but the guy gave his hustle, loyalty, and respect. He never quit. John Cena was the one that pioneered the I Quit match. I mean, him and Batista had good matches too. Now, say what you want. Oh, Batista was injured. Come on. We knew Batista wanted to go into Hollywood. Think about it. He got the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Look at that paid off for him. Batista didn't care about the wrestling business. Come on, you knew it was obvious. When it's all said and done, Cena's going to be one of the greats. Either it was... I remembered one match he had against Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins broke his nose during the match. It was for the United States Championship. I remembered it it was a match on Monday Night Raw. Cena was the United States champion. Right? Because this was like just after... This was literally, I think, right after Rollins... Might have been 2014 or 2015. I don't remember, but it was a grueling match. And Rollins was trying to become a double champion, right? He wanted the U.S. belt and the other belt, right? And Cena's nose was broken. Cena's had so many injuries in his career. He's found a way to come back and wrestle through them. And he came back and became better than ever because he was Super Cena. Now, if you remember the whole lead up to the Royal Rumble return in 2008, remember, Cena was a champion for a whole year. He won the WWE Championship in 2006, right? He got it back from Edge, right? Because we all know how New Year's Revolution 2006 ended. I don't have to get into that. But Cena came back, right? 2008, defeated Triple H. And that's what led to that waste of a match, right? Because Cena won the Royal Rumble. I think Triple H won the Elimination Chamber. Right, that's what led up to that waste of a match with Randy Orton. Because we all thought that it was going to be a one-on-one match with Randy Orton and John Cena. Oh, I don't know, guys. It's just... Anyhow, that's where I'm going to leave it off with Cena. You know, it's going to feel weird not seeing him anymore. But that's the reality. And now we're going to get the young guys competing. And by the way, the young talent that gets an opportunity tonight. The fact that Oba Femi, the NXT champion, gets to face Cody Rhodes. The World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are going to take on Javon Evans and Leon Slater. And Bayley gets to face Sol Ruka? I mean, I am very excited for these kids. Especially out of all of them, Javon Evans. John Cena has given him a lot of praise. Oba Femi somewhat, but I'm telling you, matter of years from now, you could see Oba and you could see Javon. You think they're battling it out in NXT now. Wait until these guys are on the main roster. I have high regards for these guys. So it's going to be fun and exciting. It's going to be 8 o'clock tonight. Now, there was a rumor that John Cena and Gunther were going to lead off the show first. Nah, you got to let them main event. It's the Saturday night's main event. You know, let them battle it out. So, yeah, it should be fun tonight. Now, wrap this up. Let me get into my thoughts of the college football playoffs. First of all, I'm going to say this. Why the hell did Alabama get selected? Alabama had a lot of questionable losses this year. Okay? Let's start off with the fact that they lost a lot of games that they should have won. Okay? First up, okay, let's get into the fact that maybe they did beat Georgia one time. Okay, maybe the committee thought of that as a strength. Whatever. Who cares? But how in the world? Alright. Oklahoma beat them and they're going to get the rematch. Okay? You mean to tell me that the losses, especially the SEC championship game, that should have disqualified Alabama from going into the playoffs? So whatever. It's a good thing that for Friday coming up, this Friday on the 19th, I'm glad they scheduled that game for that. Okay? No issues there. And by the way, I'm going to do a special Andy Plays this week, where I'm going to do one of the games I'm looking forward to, Ole Miss Tulane. You'll see why as I'll play it this week. Maybe I might do 2 Andy Plays episodes. I might do it this week. Okay? So yeah. By the way, I'm going to mention this. James Madison, okay, they won a championship in their conference. Who cares? Oregon's going to beat them. The Ole Miss Tulane game, what I'm looking forward to, it's Jake Ritzlaff. Is he ready for prime time? Or it gets middle of the afternoon? Texas A&M taking on Miami. That should be a grueling game on Saturday next week. Okay? Now, I will mention, the winner of the A&M Miami game gets to go to the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve, 7:30, right? So hopefully we don't have controversy of the ball drop happening in Times Square and then we're watching a college football playoff game. I remember that with Georgia a couple years ago. Now, Texas Tech deserved to get in. They won the Big 12. So they're 4th seed. The 1 seed is Indiana, right? Ohio State and then Georgia. So those get to play on New Year's Day, right? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, I'm excited. Definitely looking forward to the playoffs. Right now, if I had to pick a matchup that I think would logistically happen, if I had to pick and choose one that could happen, I think it would likely be... I think it's going to be a rematch of the Big Ten game. Call me crazy. I think we're going to get Indiana-Ohio State Part 2. Now, last week, that was a grueling game. I want to mention something. How does the kicker from Ohio State miss an easy chip shot field goal? I mean, really? Close game. I don't know. Why do I get a feeling when this is all said and done, these playoffs are just going to be a waste of time and we're going to get an Indiana-Ohio State rematch? But I'm telling you right now, and I wrapped up this episode, I want to say this. To the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, you have every right to deny not playing in a bowl game. You don't have to play. Who's telling you to play? You don't have to play. So embrace the madness that's going to be the college football playoffs. But when it's all said and done, I think we're getting an Indiana-Ohio State rematch. If I'm wrong, you can call me out. Oh, Andy, you said it was going to happen for sure. You thought it was going to be a rematch. Trust me, I got a feeling this is going to happen. So, one more thing. NBA Cup. I want to say this. Yeah. Incentivize the players for extra money. Am I excited about it? Kind of, but I don't know. I mean, the Knicks are in it. I don't know. I mean, I'm iffy about it, but it is what it is. At least it counts towards regular season wins. So there's an incentive right there. All right. So that's pretty much it. We'll wrap up this episode. So next week, depending on how the Mets do in free agency, I'll do an episode. Because it's either going to be me ranting about Josh Bell or something. I don't know. But and again, if not, we'll probably do a quick video next week on the changing landscape of New York radio. Because I want to get into it. I want to get into it. We'll probably do it next week. So thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy John Cena's last match tonight. Hopefully you'll be able to watch it. Hopefully with my sponsor, Proton VPN, if you don't want to pay the peacock. But yeah. Enjoy John Cena's last match. Army-Navy today. That's basically going to be a home game for Navy. The game's at M&T Bank Stadium. I think Navy's going to win today. I don't see Army West Point winning. I'm sorry. I'd be shocked. And by the way, my hockey team is playing today, so can the Islanders still continue their hot streak? At least Bo Horvat's not going to be out for a while. Well, that's good news, but yeah. So, as far as the Jets, I'm going to say this. Let it play out. See where things go. Because, again, I will do an episode probably in the off season of whenever Saturday, and we'll talk about what the Jets need to do. We'll get into that in the new year, I promise. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless America, and see you all next time, everybody. Goodbye.